Hello there, YouTube. How are you doing? Let me get things situated here as we jump in and say hello and begin to take a look at day 6 of the turkey trot for the crocheters. While I am getting some information in the video description box, why don't you guys go ahead, jump in here to the chat, say hello, let me know where you are joining us from. And if you get a chance, smash that like button below so that way we can make sure that this video is recognized on YouTube. How about that? It's been a long night for me, guys. I didn't sleep very well last night at all. I went to bed at about 9-ish, and then I woke up at midnight, and I couldn't go back to sleep till about 6. And so to say I'm tired is an understatement, to say the least. So I'm running a little bit behind today because then I overslept. And so anyways, here I am. I'm here. And we're going to talk about this join and get you finished with your turkey trot. It's so simple today. It's really, really super easy. So hello, everybody. I am getting stuff added on here. Let me do this while you guys are talking. And I'm so happy that a lot of you are here to say hello and to see how this works up. Let me grab the image, make sure it's the right one. Day 6, yep. And I am going to copy our link and save that. And then go over here and I'm gonna make sure that I add the link for the video up here so people can find us if they want to. And while I'm doing that, I wanna remind everybody that today is the last day that you can purchase the Stash Busting Quickie patterns with all the bonuses. So this is a limited time offer. If I told you you could have 25 crochet patterns, 21 knit patterns, and $20 worth of coupons to the Ravelry store of Marley Bird and Moogly, and some free fantastic printables for gift tags and care tags, all for under $15, don't you think that's something that it's like, wow, that's a steal? Because that's exactly what it is. So today is the last day you can get this deal. We will have the bundle itself available for the month of December at a regular price. So you can get it later on, but you won't have any of the bonuses along with it. It will just be the PDF. So this is the time to get it for $15 plus all the extras. I mean, you just can't go wrong. I mean, seriously, think about this. Think about this. I just put out the ad-free PDF for the crochet turkey trot. It's $5.99. So if you are going to spend $5.99 on that, you might as well spend $14.97 on the bundle, get the $10 of free coupons, and you get all of those patterns, plus you get to pick another pattern. I mean, it's just, I mean, to me, that makes total sense. Like it's so much you get. So that's all available. Okay, so I have updated the website. And here I am. Now I got to go back over here to YouTube and make sure I'm seeing all of your chat stuff. I had it up, and then when I had to link over to the website, it clicks it off. These are the things, guys. This is the struggle of being a YouTuber who does everything on her own. I don't have a team behind me, so to speak, to do all this extra stuff. So I have to do it live on air because the way this is set up with Zoom, I can't actually go in and change the description or anything like that until I'm already live, which seems ridiculous, but there it is. I'm here. So hello, everybody. So many of you here already. It's Monday after a holiday weekend. Those are never fun, I don't think, because it's just like, all right, you got to force yourself to get back in the grind. I know a lot of people are back at it here. But hey, it's not that long until we are to the other holidays, whether it's, Hanukkah or Christmas or New Year's. Lots of stuff happening. And don't forget that the 24 days of quickies starts tomorrow on the Marley Bird website. You do not want to miss that. Each day there will be 3 free patterns given away from various designers, 1 knit pattern and 2 crochet patterns every day. So you definitely want to join in. It's a secret who's like what day, who is giving away what pattern each day. So I think that the designers are allowed to say that they're participating. They just can't say what day. So you kind of have to just pay attention and just come every day. So once that blog post is up, we will make sure that we post it all over so you guys can get a hold of that. Oh my gosh. Hello, everybody. It's nice to see you here. Nice to see you here. Heather Tuttle says, honestly, it's the best value for super quality patterns. It's amazing. And the holiday add-on is worth it. I totally agree. The holiday add-on is worth it. When you get the pattern, the Stash Busting Quickie Patterns PDF, you have an option to add on the holiday pattern bundle for $10. It's under $10, $9.97. And it's fantastic. It has a lot of wonderful patterns, 9 crochet patterns and 1 knitting pattern. So you can totally do that. Lisa Lisa. So Lisa says that she got a great deal on that bundle and she loves it. So that's awesome. Crafty Ferret Mama says, I'm there for the 24 days of quickies. That's awesome. Miss Condor 1111, your stitches are amazing. Well, thank you. They're not my stitches, but you know, I put together some pretty cool stitch combinations. How about that? So here we are, guys. It is the last day for the crocheters as far as instructions for the turkey trot. You guys made it. I told you that day 6 was not that bad. Once you guys got through day 5, some of you were like, I don't know if I can do it. I'm like, day 6 isn't so bad. It's really easy. Essentially, all you're going to do is join the 2 pieces you've been working on. And once you get those joined, you're going to finish off your edges, your side edges, with a row of single crochets just to kind of make it nice, clean, and crisp. You don't even have to do that if you don't want to. It actually looks really good without it. And then you are all done with your pocket shawl. Ta-da! You guys know it's a pocket shawl. It originally was going to be the exact same thing that the knitters are making, which is a Ruwana. Knitters don't even know that yet. I'm going to announce that later, but they're making a Ruwana, which is super cute. I saw one at Target and I was like, that is fantastic. I want to do that shape. And so originally that's what both of you guys were going to do, but it ended up using more yarn for the Ruwana than I had told you that you guys needed. So that's why I had to scrap the Ruwana for the turkey trot. I still have the Ruwana pattern. You guys will be getting that. I'm going to be putting that out there. It's so fantastic. And then we changed things up and made it the pocket shawl. So I love the hidden pocket. I love the stitches that I used. I didn't add fringe because I've heard you guys mention so much that you don't like fringe or tassels or anything. Although I will say that I think some tassels or fringe on it would be really cute. I made sure that the pocket was a nice solid stitch itself. And I gave you an option to make the pocket like a full on pocket. I showed you that in the video where we added the pockets to where you could just have a full pocket instead of having like the front of the pocket be the front of the fabric of the shawl. But yeah, that's what that is. A Ruwana, you guys, it's sort of like it's like an oversized vest is kind of what it is. It's what it is. When I get a chance, I'll show you guys the picture of the one that was the inspiration behind it as far as the shape. Let's see. Heather Tuttle says, and the Marley Birdie pattern. Yes, there's the Marley Birdie pattern in the holiday pattern bundle that is available when you purchase the Stash Busting Quickie. Oh my gosh. My emotional support Canadian wants to join the room. Do we all want to hear from Marla? Let's let Marla in the room. So we have Marla here and we're going to see what Marla is all about. Marla, my emotional support Canadian. If you guys don't know Marla is one of the moderators of the Marley's Minions group. She's also one of my testers. She is a knit tester, and I'm not sure if she's going to get on here or not. It says it's connecting her audio, so we'll see if it works up for her. But yeah, so Marla, hopefully we'll get her in here. She said she wanted to join. She was going to come over here and poke fun at me is what she said. So we'll see if we can get Marla in here. It says that she's trying to connect audio, but we'll see. But anyways, the Ruwana, it's pretty darn awesome. So how many of you, show of hands in the chat, have already gotten your pattern for today, your clue for today, the day 6 clue? I want to let you know that I did go in there and I took off where it says on the, is it on the border that it said it? I got to see, hold on. Let me see. I have all these tabs open. I lose track. I lose track of everything. Is it down here? The day 6, right where it's underneath the schematic down at where the instructions are, it said right side facing, and I thought that that was confusing. So I took that off, and we're going to talk about that here in the instructions. It's still in the pattern PDF, which is available for purchase if you guys want to. But I will probably remove that from there also, just to make it so it's not so confusing. But in essence, here's what's going on. We have these 2 panels. They're fantastic. You can see the schematic now. I wonder if I can do my share screen. Marla, you're here, but there's no video.
It's not working. Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you.
I don't know. It won't let me start the video.
That is so strange. I just did an ask to start the video. Let's see if that works. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to click on the pattern for today, guys, and we'll do a screen share so we all can see what I'm talking about here. And
maybe I need to go out and back in.
Maybe. I love your accent. My little Canadian there.
I don't have an accent.
You don't. You're right. You're right. All right. So I'm going to do a share screen here real quick, and let's see what we have. So show of hands, everybody. Can you see the share screen right here where it says purchase the ad-free PDF? I think you can see it. It looks on my screen like you're seeing it. So let's see. Maybe I can turn this off right now and see if that helps. Okay. So right here, this is the day 6 instructions. I've scrolled down to where it says purchase the ad-free PDF. So I've just kind of got down to this point to where you have an image here of like just a page. I will eventually put a real image there of the cover, but I didn't want to spoil it completely yet for people who might not have put together what they're making. So I didn't do that yet. So maybe in the next couple days, I will go in. If you purchase this pattern, there will be an update on Ravelry with a pretty cover and all that. But this is the pattern. This is the pattern we've been going off of for the entire turkey trot. Like I can click right here. You can see here, it's in my Google Drive, right? It's all right there in my Google Drive. So it's the pattern we've been going off of. And now I got to find where it went. Is this it? Yes. So you can click right here where it says purchase the ad-free PDF from the Ravelry store. You could click this button here where it purchase. It's $5.99. If you want all of the instructions in one sweet little place to where you don't have to copy and paste things, that's where it is. Okay. So I'm going to come down here. Same information as far as all of this stuff. What is new down here, though, is there's a schematic. So now that you have the pieces done, I wanted you to be able to see kind of essentially how it's going to look. Obviously, these measurements, we all know it's a shawl. These measurements are given if you reached gauge. If you didn't reach gauge and your measurements are a little bit different, I would not stress too much about it. I mean, hopefully you're happy with the finished piece because it looks really good, in my opinion. So this is essentially how the piece is going to fit together. You have completed both of these sides. If you remember in yesterday's video, I mentioned that you need to make sure that each panel measures from the middle of the back of your neck down to your fingertips. And essentially that's so when it's around your shoulders, your hands can fit nicely into the pockets. Okay. So the diagram, you really don't need that anymore because we're not even doing that today, but I left it in there. I left all of the video notes. I left everything. This is actually what you're watching right here. So it's kind of doo-doo-doo-doo. And then this is the mentioning of the sale. I'll remove that after today because it will be away. And but this is joining the panels. Now, we chose a way to join the panels in that we thought it looks really good, but if it's something that's causing you havoc, or maybe you're like, you have a different way that you like to join panels, you could do whatever you want. You do not have to follow my instructions at all. You can just do this as is, okay? Essentially, you're going to make sure that the front of your work is facing up. And, or you could do it with the front of your work facing down. It really, I mean, when I tell you it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. You have to decide what looks best for you. I'll show you my little swatch that I have worked up. And then you're going to add you're going to join them using a half double crochet and then pulling the loop that's on your hook through the stitch on the opposite panel. It's really not that difficult. You could whip stitch these together. You could find some way to work them together like through both loops. You could do whatever you want. And then once you've joined those two pieces together, the final bit is just working your edge with single crochet. So it's like you're working this long edge right here just to join it together with a single crochet, and same thing with this long edge right there. Okay, just a single crochet along each one, not in the round. It's just a row. It's a row along both of the long edges, and then pin your pockets in place and sew them in place. All right. Does that make sense? So you do that on the wrong side of the fabric. So today's instructions are really super short, super fast, super easy. Marla left. We'll have to see if she comes back later. So any questions so far? I want to look in the chat and see if there are any particular questions, because I do want to make sure that I am addressing all the appropriate questions. And while you guys are catching up to where I am in the video, because there's a delay, I'm going to move my keyboard and get my microphone over here so that I'll be able to show you the stuff right here. Okay, Lorraine, will we also be able to purchase the Ruana pattern for crochet? Yes, with the correct yardage. Yes, you will. So when we were making this piece, guys, what happened? Hold on a minute. My throat gets so dry. As we were making this piece, the Ruana has slightly different stitches, but sort of the same similar look, different stitches. And when they were working the fronts because these would have been two fronts, and they were like, Marley, I'm running out of yarn and I still have the back to go. And I was like, well, crap, right? Because I already told you guys how much yarn to get. So that's when we changed it up. But yes, Lorraine, we I don't want to have a good pattern go to waste. So we did finish off tech editing that pattern. Some of the testers did not rip out what they already did. They just set it aside and started a different project for the shawl. So they have the Ruana almost completed. They're super cool. I will be honest, the one that I think is the prettiest is the Roll With It melange one, because it looks so good. You guys will have to see it. But yes, that pattern will be available for sure. Brat's mom, hi Marley, this is beautiful. Will you teach us how to make a swancho sometime? I would love that. I love swancho, so I would do that. Marla says, I think you need to let me back in. Okay, let's see if we can let Marla back in. I just tried to do that. And then I don't see any other questions. It kind of feels like you guys already know how to do this maybe, but let's go ahead and go down to my hands and see how this connection works and see if it looks really good. Marla, I see you here, my friend, but I don't see you. I can hear you.
Yeah, it's the start video has a red line through it, but when I push on it, nothing happens. It won't start.
Well,
oh, just a sec. Video is asked to start my video. I don't know what's going on.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, I'm glad you're here. Do you want to say hi to everybody? And then I'm going to cut over to my hands.
Hello.
So you guys, if you haven't noticed, if you're in the Marley's Minions group, when you see Marla's name, you're going to be like, oh, I know her. I heard her today on the
but you won't know what I look like. That's okay.
You won't know, but she is working hard and being very diligent, and she is a true cheerleader for everybody. So I hope you're able to say hello to Marla. All right, Marla, I got to put you on mute so that way I can transfer to my hands, because it's got to be on mute.
Yep.
So that way the sound goes. All right. Okay, guys. So here we go. I'm going to transfer it all over. And after doing this so many times, you would think I'd remember that I need my headphones when I have to do this, but I always forget. Okay, so let me go to speaker view. Can you guys all see me? You hear me and do all the thing? All right. Melissa says she's cranking away on day 4. Fantastic. Okay, y'all. So I worked up a little swatch just of some linked double crochets. All right. And what I've done is I've used the join that we wrote up so that way I can show you what it looks like. So this is what it looks like on one side. This is the side that's facing me when I was doing it. And this is the side that was not facing me when I was doing it. Now, what I want to point out is with this join being placed at the point of the shawl that we are placing it, if you do it with the right sides up, you kind of get this, it's not like, I don't have it with me. It's not like the look of the half double crochet shallow post stitches, but it kind of gives that illusion of a definitive line at a good point of the pattern. So I know that we said to finish on a row 6, which I think is a right side. So if I did that, that would put my yarn down here. So what you would have to do is chain 2. We'll just do it. We'll just do it together. Anyway, so now you see what it looks like. I'm going to rip this out and we're going to do it together. Maybe. Did I finish it? Maybe I'm just pulling the wrong one. I am. Okay. So at the end of your panels, you have one of them that you fastened off. So we're going to set this one right here. And then you have one that you worked across on row 6. And you fit that. So this is your right side. So I'm going to place this here. Maybe I should go ahead and add that right side in the instructions. I just didn't want to confuse people. It's always kind of a crapshoot of what's the best way for me to do this. Okay, so I'm going to consider this that I have the 2 right sides facing me. So this would be in the end of my row 6. This is the last of the row 6 on the panel that I fastened off. So on this one, I will chain 2. Let me pick it up. And you don't hold them together as you do this. You have to sort of finagle it. So I chain 2. There's a lot of strings. Hopefully you guys can see all this. I'm going to come over here to this side, but I'm going to take my hook out of the loop, go into the corresponding stitch on the panel that I fastened up on, grab that loop after I put my hook into that stitch, and then pull that loop through. You see that? So then I'm going to do a half double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to come back over to this side that I started with. I'll go into the next stitch and I'll half double. And then take my hook out, come to this next stitch over here, put that loop back on the hook and pull it through. And I do that again. Does that make sense? I think I went into that one. So go to the next. So it's a lot of removing your hook, going in and doing things like this. But you get a really nice look. You see it? Now, say you wanted to do it. Is that good? I'm going to pause here and see if you guys are good here. Please let me know. Give me a thumbs up or something if this all makes sense, because I can show you if you have, you start off with the loop on this side instead of this side. I mean, it really doesn't matter too much. It all depends. I mean, I guess it does matter on the look you want, but it can be completed with either way. It's just another cool join. You can use this for other stuff too. Come over here. Gosh. Okay, I'm going to open that up. See how that kind of looks? I mean, it looks neat. It's a nice little detail. Thumbs up. Could. It makes sense. Everybody's saying it makes sense. Awesome. So I'm going to undo this. And let's pretend you finished your row 6. And you're like, you know what? I don't want to do that up there. I'm going to go ahead and turn. And I'm going to make it so that all of those stitches are on my wrong side. Or maybe you cut your yarn and rejoin or whatever. Whatever floats your boat. It would be the same thing. We'd start off with the chain 2. And then you grab your opposite one, right? Let's see, I think it'd be this way. Go in over here, grab your loop, and pull through. Like, don't snag my yarn. I think this way is harder, but that's me. Yarn over, come over here on this side, do my half double. Come over here, go in. Put that loop back on my hook, and then pull it through. Can you guys see that? So you could do it either direction. So then once again, you'd yarn over, come over to this side, complete your half double, but then come back over here, pull the last yarn loop that was on your hook through the stitch. This is helpful to see too, to kind of see 2 different ways. I mean, at the end of the day, you're just joining 2 panels together. So all of you, for the most part, have done blankets, or maybe you have another type of join that you really like that you're like, ooh, I'm going to try this. You absolutely could do that. Maybe you want to use like leather strips and do some sort of a decorative leather thing here and join it together, like lace it up. I mean, I don't know, have fun with it. You could do anything you want. But anyways, so that's what that would look like. That's what it looks like on the opposite side. I mean, it still looks good. You just decide what works good for you. So the best thing you could do is play around with both of them. Do just a few stitches in, take a look and see how you like it, and then decide which way you want to go with. Just be consistent with whatever you decide. Does that make sense? Oop. Let me turn this off. There we go. Hopefully that makes a lot of sense out there. It looks like you guys are saying, fantastic, this makes sense. I want to make the hat that Marley's wearing in the patterns. Which one? I want to make the hat that Marley is wearing in the patterns. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. The marshmallow hat? The toasted marshmallow? I think I have that. I'm guessing you're talking about the stash bundle, toasted marshmallow. So here's a funny story with that, you guys. I think I have it over here. The toasted marshmallow hat uses stitches that I was playing around with for the turkey trot. And so they're very similar. They have the X stitch, but instead of just having the back X stitch, I also have the front X stitch. And then I have some solid shells that we use quite a bit in the Ruana pattern that I wrote that will be coming out. And so, yeah, it looks very similar to the turkey trot. My biggest piece of advice with this, I kept the pattern written the way I made this, but if it were me, if I were to make this again, I would go up even one size bigger hook on the body and just make the body just a little bit bigger to make it a little bit more slouchy. But that would be my only thing I would change on this pattern. But I didn't want to write it out that way because the pictures wouldn't demonstrate it correctly. So I wrote it exactly how I did it. Look at the top. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. And you can put a pom-pom on it. You can wear it without a pom-pom. If you make it just like this, it's still really nice. I just wanted mine a little bit more slouchy. I thought it was gonna be more slouchy than it was. So if I made this again, I would just make it a little bit more slouchy. But this is a really great hat. A really awesome hat. So that's the toasted marshmallow. This hat is only available in the Stash Busting Quickies. So like I said, if you plan on getting the ad-free PDF of this pattern, get the Stash Busting Quickies now, because that is the most economical way. That is the biggest deal on the internet today when it comes to patterns from designers. Like, it is amazing. So yeah, let's see here. So the matching hat, you guys are asking me if I'm making a matching hat. This is as close as it gets for me on my ends. I've got so many other things on my plate right now, but that is the marshmallow hat. So you could check that out. Donna says, yes, that one. Thank you. I'm so glad you think it's beautiful. It was me playing with stitches for the turkey trot. And this was me playing with stitches for the turkey trot. This was the original turkey trot plan, which turned into the Ruana, but you guys can see that's kind of how that goes. So this was me working it all out. It's just fun. It's a lot of fun to do. Let's see here. Great job. Beautiful. It's pretty. Yes. How many of you are super excited to have this finished today and be able to post? I think there's a lot of you that are on that. I do want to mention something really quickly. If you remember, originally in the blog post, I said that you have a full week to finish it and then we will give away prizes. So I put in there the original due date was December 7th. Well, with all of the you know what, with 2020 being what it is, and the fact that I don't want any of you to stress out about this, I want you to enjoy it. I want you to still have a chance to get prizes. And I want that for both the knitters and the crocheters. I went ahead and I extended the due date, the quote unquote due date, to December 14th. Because you know what? It's my party and I can do that. So you have 2 weeks to finish this. So for those of you who are behind, maybe you're just watching today to kind of see what's up or see what's ahead, don't worry about it. You have 2 full weekends to still sit down and complete this shawl. I thought that was important because life just gets in the way sometimes, and we just never know what's going to hit. I mean, we could all of a sudden, like, your kids are home, they're doing schooling, you have to help them, maybe you have to clean up, maybe you have to do some sort of decorations, maybe you have to celebrate with the holiday. I mean, there's all sorts of things. And you know what? I always appreciate an extension and a little bit of extra time because I'm always running around ragged. And I just like, you know what? They all deserve it. And so you guys absolutely have till December 14th to post in the finished item thread. It's not even up yet. I'm going to put it up later today. Post your image in the finished item, and that's where you can have a chance to win a prize. If you are not on Facebook and you're on Instagram, make sure you use the hashtags so that way I can find yours and you'll be entered for a prize as well with your finished pieces. So yeah, you have until December 14th. So that's 14 more days. That's a lot. That's a long time. So if you want to break it up, I mean, just don't stress it. Totally don't stress it, you guys. This should not be a stressful project. That is the last thing I want to do, is cause you guys any stress. I want you to have an enjoyable time. Let's ring in the new year with something special and have a great time, right? So I think all of you should celebrate by getting the Stash Busting Quickie pattern bundle, so that way you can get that coupon, get the ad-free PDF, so you have everything all nice and tidy in one place. And I will remind you again that I will update the ad-free PDF with some images and stuff once some people start getting theirs done, so that way I'm not spoiling it for anybody. And that will be, that's available through Ravelry. So all the links that I put on my website, those are through Ravelry. I will eventually have those available on my own website also, so you can purchase them through my own website. But because I wanted to make sure it was available to you right now, I did put those up on Ravelry, so you can buy them there. Please demonstrate the whip stitch to connect the pockets. Oh goodness, Christina, that is so easy. Let me see here. Where is my little swatch? When I say whip stitch, whip stitch to join the pockets, you could even do a back stitch. You could just sew it on. You don't have to use a whip stitch. You could do anything you want. So let me grab, obviously I'm not, like, I only have this little swatch, but we're just going to hold this little makeshift pocket right up to stitches here. And then we'll just pin it in place, and we'll just whip stitch it or seam it in or get it to where it needs to go. How about that? Let me get my headphones back in so I can hear. And this video, are you there? All right. I gotta get my tapestry needle. Oh, you guys want to see something? Look at this. I totally bent my tapestry needle. Can you see that? Like, it's absolutely forcing some yarn through some stitches, and they did not want to go there. and I bent my tapestry needle. Let me get some water. Kind of funny. So Lorraine, here's the cool thing. If you want the Rwana pattern and you want this ad-free PDF, right there is $12. So for almost $3 more, you could also get 46 other patterns and printables and 2 patterns from Moogly. I mean, come on, y'all. This is no brainer. Okay, so we're going to pretend this is the, well, not pretend. This is the back of your shawl. Here's the pocket. So it would have already been sewn on. So you have your pocket kind of flopping around. So if you left a long tail in your pocket, great. If you didn't, no big deal. Just join some yarn. And I'm literally just going to grab a little bit of the fabric of the body of the shawl and come to the fabric of the pocket and just go like this. And I'm making sure the pocket lays flat. I'm not distorting the shawl itself. If there comes a point where maybe you're going through sort of like this opening here, where it goes through it, maybe you just kind of pinch it over a little. It's better to have the pocket on the inside kind of bunch a little bit than have your body of the shawl bunch. But then this is it. This is all I'm doing. You don't have to grab too much. And then when you get down here, hopefully you can just follow along one of the rows and just keep going. All right, so that would be joined to that side. I can whip stitch this all the way down the row. Is this helpful? Heather Tuttle says, when stitching the pockets on, I found it helpful to place it and use stitch markers to hold it in place. I absolutely agree. Kind of frame where you need to stitch. Absolutely. So you could like pinch these down so that way they're in place so they don't move around on you. I agree. Stitch markers are awesome. Stitch markers are amazing. You guys know I love stitch markers. But yeah, this is it. I mean, I think down here at the bottom, I would probably make sure it's nice and secure because that's where most of the weight is going to be held when things are in the pocket, if you put things in your pocket. But this is it. So as I come up here to the end, I'm like coming to the end of this string that I'm working on. Geez, that's a really great way to demonstrate, right? So I'm just going to tuck in my end here. Let me see if I can go back one more time. And then I'm just going to pick up my other tail I have available and do that third side. Oh, I can't get that in. I'm not going to worry about it. So then I would just pick up this one and tuck it in. Somebody's saying this is super helpful. Great. I'm glad. You know, sometimes I take for granted that you already know how to do something, and it helps to do these lives and have you guys ask me. That's always super helpful. I'm going to go like this. And I'm just coming up this side. Just right along the edge. I mean, if you don't want to use your tails like this, you could use sewing thread and a needle if you want it to be a little bit more visible. You could line the pocket before you do anything with fabric if you're that crafty. I can sew a little bit, but I just leave that up to my friends. And then yeah, just get up here to the top. I probably would secure it a little bit more up here in the corner just to make sure it doesn't overstretch or anything. One thing you could even do is take a contrasting thread and do something fun, sort of like what Levi's does or whatever with their reinforce their pockets and stuff. They do it with rivets, but you know what I mean? Like you could do something fun there if you wanted to. But essentially, there it is. There's your little pocket right there. Super easy. Now, like I said, y'all, I know that this has a little bit of openness on the front of the pocket, which is why originally on the Rwana, you'll see that the stitches are actually pretty solid. Like I purposely was doing things really solid so that way your pockets would be nice and solid, because I've heard you guys mention that that was one thing you didn't like about some of the other pocket shawls, but I had to stay within the yarn requirements. So one thing you can get away with is before you seam this down, make this even longer and then tuck it up. And then instead of seaming the pocket down to the shawl, you already have it attached to the top of the shawl. Seam the other edge to like the open edge here that we didn't work into. And then you'd have like a standalone pocket that you could tack down in the corner so I didn't flop around. But there's lots of options for you. All right. Hopefully that's helpful. Is that helpful, everybody? I'm seaming the pieces together right now using the shallow front post stitch, and it looks really good. Julia, I actually debated doing that. Like, I super debated making that the join, and then I wasn't exactly sure if it would be too much for people, but Julia, you and I were right here. I actually think that would be really good to use because I think that looks really seamless through everything. So Julia is just essentially doing two pieces together, and she's doing the shallow front post. So that way it gives that kind of same line that has been recreated throughout the entire project. It's really quite beautiful. That's what I plan to do if I have enough yarn. Melissa Spradley says that. She's probably talking about the pockets. Totally cool. I actually debated doing that at the start also, but then when the the yarn debacle as far as how much yarn I told you guys to get versus how much you needed, I didn't want to run the risk of you guys running out. So I chose not to do that. I figured at the end I would give you an option to do that with the pockets, which is why you have that option now. Let's see here. Crafty Ferret Mama says, Marley, I so thought it would be either a Cardi or a Ruana, but could not think of the name of it, but was picturing it in my head. Yep, that's what it is. So this is what happened. All along I had planned on doing a pocket shawl, and you guys don't really know this about me. Like originally when pocket shawls started, I was like, what is the big deal? Like, why is everybody going so crazy about these things? Like, it's just a rectangle with pockets. And so you guys remember I asked several different times in the Marley's Minions group, what do you want? What do you want? What is something you really, and I mean, overwhelmingly, everybody was like, I want a pocket shawl. So I was like, okay, I got to do a pocket shawl, but then I got to put my own twist on the pocket shawl. Like, what could I do that's like a pocket shawl that's not a pocket shawl? And then I happened to be at Target, with John, and I saw this Ruana. It's just like an oversized vest, guys. And I was like, that would be perfect because it had pockets and it was, it wasn't like super long. I'm like, that would be really great because it, all laid out flat. It would just be a rectangle, just like what the knitters are doing. And I was like, yes, I'm going to do that. So I looked up yarn amounts for other things. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to estimate that it's about this much yarn. But then I forgot that a Ruana has a back. So I estimated for how much yarn it would be for like the fronts and maybe some edging, but I forgot about the back and I was like, oh, crud. So that's why there was a flip. You should have been part of the testers group, guys, because they got the final pattern like a week before we went live. Which is better than they've gotten it at other times. So it wasn't so bad. Miss Condor 1111 says, I love pocket shawls. Great pick. I'm happy. That seemed to be the general consensus. It seemed like everybody loved those. Barbie says, I love the live videos. They have been so helpful. That makes me thrilled. Yeah, every time I see it, I'm like, it has pockets. Lorraine says she loves the pockets. Have always added pockets to my sewing projects. I love pockets too, and they're so easy to do. Like you guys did this version. There's so many other versions. I have another pattern out there that has the pockets done in them using short rows and join at the same time. Like it's really cool. That's for knitting, but I mean, it's just really neat stuff. Julia says that she will post a picture of the finished piece that she's doing where she's joining with the shallow front post stitches. So I'm guessing, Julia, you'll post those in the Marley's Minions group. That's fantastic. You guys have been so fantastic over there. So encouraging to one another. Like I know a couple people are like, man, I've had to pull it out a couple times, or I'm really stressing out. And all of you, I mean, I don't even have to jump in and say anything because you guys are just like, hey, hang out there. It's always there. It's always available, whether you need to put it down and walk away, come back to it. Don't give up. It's worth it. I've been telling you guys all along, and I very rarely ever say that gauge is not important. Like I've been saying all along, gauge is not that important at all. So it's good. Yes, that's my doggie. That's Penny. Penny, are you okay, baby girl? She's in here because we have some people here working on the house right now. So she's in here hanging out with us. But yeah, that's Penny. Penny. Okay, y'all. Well, that's it for me. I really hope you've enjoyed this crochet along and a mystery crochet along. I do have another prize to give away, so I want to pick a prize from everybody who has posted in any of the progress threads today. And the prize, I'm going to read exactly what it is. It's the wonderful crew at I Like Crochet is offering a 1-year Gold Club membership to I Like Crochet magazine. This includes 1-year subscription to I Like Crochet magazine, which includes 6 issues stuffed with gorgeous designer patterns with step-by-step instructions, stitch tutorials, crochet tips and tricks, and expert techniques. Get nearly 100 new and exclusive patterns. You also will get a 1-year subscription to the I Like Crochet collection, which includes 50 plus designer patterns from your favorite crochet projects such as decor, amigurumi, and more, plus receive never before seen projects. You also will get full access to the I Like Crochet library, a tablet computer access, digital format. Projects are tech edited, absolutely zero advertisements are in the magazine, and crochet tips and tricks are available in there as well. So we have 1 subscription to give away for that today, and I will randomly pick somebody. You know what? I'm not even going to say just from the Facebook group. I'm also going to look on Instagram. So I will look on Instagram and Facebook to pick a winner. Make sure you tag me or tag Turkey Trot 2020 so that way I can find your projects, and I will pick a winner later on tonight. So let's say by 7 o'clock Eastern time tonight, I will choose a winner for this lucky prize from I Like Crochet for sure. And then you all have a chance to win. Okay. So the link to the Marley's Minions group is in the pattern. So if you've been going to the pattern every day, it's in there where the Marley's Minions, it's totally in there. She says, let's see, try this one more time. Dawn Tennyson, I Like Crochet magazine. I got it this year. It is fantastic. Those are my friends over at Prime that publish that and Fave Crafts, and they are amazing. They have been super supportive of the stash busting quickie patterns. They think it's an amazing, they were like, Marley, that's an amazing deal, an amazing price. Let us promote it too. And so they're also promoting it because they think it's amazing. So that always makes you feel really good when you feel like you hit it out of the park. All right, you guys are saying it's a fun turkey trot. I'm really happy you feel that way. I was a little bit stressed out thinking that you guys were going to think I overwhelmed you. Honestly, that's not my goal. I just want you to have something beautiful and something that you're proud of. Next year, maybe we do something smaller. I think that should be the goal, is next year we make something just a little bit smaller. Even though we have all that time for Thanksgiving, maybe we just make it a little bit smaller and have some more time to enjoy. So we'll do that. Okay, don't forget that the ad-free PDF is available. If you plan on getting that and you plan on getting the Ruana, I'm telling you right now, getting the limited time offer of the Stash Busting Quickie is the way to go. Like it's $14.97 and you're already going to spend $12 on 2 patterns. So you might as well spend $14.97 on 46 patterns and get a $10 free coupon to the Marley Ravelry store and a $10 free coupon to the Moogly Ravelry store. Like I don't know, it just makes more sense to me, but I will totally leave that up to you. All the links are in the video description box. I love doing this with you guys. I will see you over on Facebook, and yeah, that's it from me, everybody. Okay, I will talk to you later, I guess. I'm looking for the live button. There it is. I can't believe it's over. Like, it seems so crazy.